Well, I sure hope somebody picks up that phone, because I f***ing called it!
Here's actual proof I called it. So, Link vs. Cloud, number 2. I don't know where to start with this. I'm gonna say I'm happy because out of all the matches, this was probably the one I wanted the second most as a rematch. My most wanted rematch is Pikachu versus Blanca. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, I'm going to focus on the Breath of the Wild version of Link for this, because that was the one they showed in the trailer. I know that's because Breath of the Wild is probably the best Zelda game nowadays, but that's the one they showed in the trailer. I think they're going to be focusing on that one the most. I do think they're still going to composite Link. They're going to give him all his weapons and stuff, and yeah, but, so, okay, remember, this isn't all the Links, because, like, there are some Link, I'm just trying to find, like, a middle ground between them all, because, like, you get some Links that are, like, not even, mountain level. Well, actually, no, they are mountain level, but then you get some Links that are, like, dwarf star level, some that are multiversal, apparently, according to Versus Battle. I know it's not the most reliable source, but still. And then you get some, like, and then you get the Breath of the Wild one, which is a tier 6A. And that's kind of, it's kind of an in-between, and that's what I kind of want to focus on. And I do think that because of Breath of the Wild, they're going to focus on this Link the most. So they're going to give him stuff like Daruk's Protection, Mipha's Grace, Rivali's Gale, Urbosa's Fury, all that stuff. Also, they're going to give him like all the Sheikah Slate stuff, so they won't need bombs. I think that's all that that was replaced in Breath of the Wild. Just the bombs. But yeah, so again, Breath of the Wild version of Link is a tier 6A, and I believe, if I'm correct, that's I'm correct, that's like multi-continental. So he fought and beat Calamity Ganon, and took hits from Calamity Ganon. And Calamity Ganon is, well, also multi-continental. But again, they could, like, do scaling and say, oh, well, he took hits from Ganon, so he could take hits from Ocarina of Time Ganon or something like that. I don't know. I'm sorry. I really wanted to talk about this one, so that's why this video is coming out early. But anyway, yeah. He's faster than, well, not massively faster than Light, but he's faster than Light, because he's able to dodge lasers from Guardians, and also Beamos lasers in the other games. He has a stasis, which is like a time stopper for like one target, so I can see him like stopping time on Cloud, like, and then like hitting him over and over again and sending Cloud flying back. He also has bombs, again, like remote bombs, so you can just like toss them and detonate them whenever he wants. Magnesis, which can like pick up metal objects, so like Cloud's rushing at him, he can use Magnesis and like toss away like the Buster Sword or something, and then I'll get into this later, but he can like pick up metal objects. At full health, he can shoot sword beams, but he can also do it when using the Skyward Strike. Again, if they use other Links and not just Breath of the Wild Link. So if they knowledge Skyward Sword Link, then he should be able to use the Skyward Strike. He also has a bunch of different weapons, from swords, wands, elemental wands like fire, ice, and lightning. There's also a bunch of different tools like the hook shot. There's the Megaton Hammer, Deku Nuts, which can be used like the flashbang, or like a stunning thing, because that's what you can do. Although you can only do it in Ocarina of Time as Child Link, so it's difficult. Then he also has the Golden Gauntlet, so he can like lift up incredibly heavy objects and like toss them around with ease. other than that, that's kind of it. There's also Flurry Rush, so if he does like a perfect dodge in the game, he can like attack multiple times, which has been calculated at 400 times the speed of light. So yeah, Link is pretty freaking buff. But Cloud is just ridiculous. Cloud, I obviously think Cloud is gonna win this. So he's comparable to the Shinra infantrymen who can shatter large stone statues with a single punch. I'm sorry, I am just mumbling today. But he can shatter. They can shatter large stone statues with a single punch. In Advent Children, he actually fought and defeated Sephiroth. Now, again, I haven't seen Advent Children in a long time. And by a long time, I mean, like, I've seen it, like, a couple of months ago, but it was just, like, until the ending, it was actually kind of boring me. So I kind of just forgot about it. But I'm not sure if that version of Sephiroth was weaker than in the games. Please correct me. Please tell me if he was or if he wasn't. But still a notable feat. He defeated Sephiroth in Advent Children. And he also held his own against the three remnants of Sephiroth. And one of them was Laz, who outmatched Tifa. Then he also defeated pieces of Genova. He's also capable of dodging lasers. So when he used Omni Slash version 5 in Advent Children, Sephiroth was like completely unable to see him. He was moving so fast. So that's massive. I think I'm probably wrong. I'm most likely wrong about this. But I think that there was also one of the summons, if I'm right. But one of the summons in Final Fantasy was calculated at moving like a trillions of times the speed of light. Again, I'm most likely wrong about that. But if it is, they might say, oh, well, Cloud scales to, I think it was Bahamut. Like, Cloud scales to Bahamut, and Bahamut moved at trillions of times faster than light, so Cloud can do the same. And also, he did the Omni Slash feat when he still had the Geostigma disease. So, again, he's probably even faster. Probably. Maybe. It's not a definite yes, but maybe. Also, he's comparable to Tifa, who threw the diamond weapon, which would require anywhere between 139 to 58 teratons of force. And again, of course, he withstood Sephiroth's supernova, and which was calculated at, like... Because in-game, the supernova cannot kill you, from what I hear. Again, I haven't really played Final Fantasy. I think I should, actually. I might pick up, like, a PS Classic just to play it. Probably not. But I might. Because I only know, like... I know of, Link because I'm a Zelda fan, and I know Cloud from Smash, and from there I kind of just did a lot more research, and then Final Fantasy just kind of stuck with me, and it's probably one of my favorite games that I've never played before. So yeah, I still think Cloud is gonna win. What I want from the fight, for one, I want them to use Cloud's Advent Children design, because that is by far my favorite, and Link's Breath of the Wild design. The fight also has to be in 3D. That is a big factor. It has to be in 3D. And not Spider-Gwen versus Batgirl 3D. So, actual good 3D animation. I also want Link to use the majority of his arsenal, so maybe he can use, like, Stasis to... Again, freeze Cloud, whack him a couple times, send him flying backwards. Use the Golden Gauntlets to, like, pick up a building or something and toss it at Cloud. That'd actually be kind of funny now that I think about it. Probably use, like, different variations of his boomerang weapons, all that kind of stuff. I don't want them to just use a Smash moveset, because they did that with Pit versus Sora, and I don't like that fight that much. I'd go so far as to say that it's probably my least favorite fight. Least favorite episodes. We'll get to that later, actually. And also, I also kind of want a motorcycle fight with Link on the Monster Cycle Zero and then Cloud on his motorcycle. I don't know what it's called. Please tell me in the comments. But yeah. Again, I know I'm kind of sounding a bit bored right now, but I don't know what else to say. That's the problem. I guess I should move on to the review for Steven vs. Star. I think I'll do that now. So yeah, I'm gonna do that now. Well, Steven Universe vs. Star Butterfly. A match I barely give a crap about, with two characters I don't even care about. So, it was good. I liked it. It was a lot better than I expected. I like the animation. I'll get to the complaints about it later. I want to get to the positives first, because there's only, like, 2 negatives. Normally I get to the, use the negatives and then I get to the positives. But not today. I want to get to the positives first, because I just want to talk about the positives. So, I do like the sandcastle, like, the whole, like, on a beach, because obviously Steven Universe takes place in, like a beachside area. I like the track as well. I think it was Stars of the Universe. That was a really good track, especially near the ending. My God, it's good. I love it so much. And this is for two characters I would even go so far as to say I don't even like Steven Universe, like, as a character in the show. Because, like, from what I've seen in the show, I've seen, like, a couple of episodes of both shows. Star was just, like, your typical, like, annoying character, but she had her moments, and I liked her when I watched the show. But Steven, I just never liked him. I never liked him. He was just so annoying. But in the episode, I actually liked him. So that's good. Again, the track was good, better than anything the actual crew can make, and the voice acting was good as well. Especially with Star, because, a little fun fact, she's voiced by Bulma, like, from Team 4 Star. So now, all I hear in my head is just Bulma. But yeah, I really liked the voice acting. It was really cool. I'm eating Skittles now. Okay, best part of the episode: Spider in a top hat. He wasn't used a lot, but he owned the screen when he was on screen. The Watermelon Stevens were actually kind of cute, except when he went all pink. Then they got buff, and they were just gross. Also, I think there was also a scene. So there was a scene. Oh my gosh, I'm sounding like I'm illiterate today. I'm illiterate today. But in the episode, there's a scene of the fight where Steven jumps up at Star and yells, "What did sandcastles ever do to you?" And she just goes, "I don't know." And it is amazing. It is my favorite line in the episode. This is coming from someone who isn't even a Star versus or Steven Universe fan. But I just like this episode. I honestly think it's better than what the actual showrunners can make. That's how good it is. That's how good it is to me. But, like, when Steven had his like bubbles on his fists, they kind of made like little volley. I think he hit Star 3 times with them. And the first and last time they had volleyball sound effects, but the second time they didn't, which is kind of awkward. But it was just a neat little detail to hear like a bink kind of noise. And it was cute. Both were in character, as far as I can tell. I think Steven was more in line with Steven Universe Future than in the original series, which is good because I do not like him in the original series. Again, I found him annoying. Yeah, and aside from a boring death and very little use of Spider in a top hat, it was good. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. And here's why. So, from what you've just heard, it may have sounded like, oh, I really liked this episode. I'd given it possibly a 9 out of 10. But there's one glaring issue with it. It's not hand-drawn. I know that's nitpicking. And the sprites look fine. They're just pixelated versions of drawings. But it would have been so much better if they were hand-drawn. I know it probably would have taken longer, but it would have been... I'm sorry, this is my biggest problem with the episode. That it's not hand-drawn. You can get it could have been the Danny Phantom versus Jake Long. I'm gonna sound like I was about to sound like a complete spoiled fanboy there. But it could have been the cartoon fight episode that Danny Phantom versus Jake Long wishes it could be. That's what I wanted to say. Because when Danny versus Jake first came out, I was like, really? It's in sprites? Why didn't they just do it in hand-drawn? It would make so much sense. And the hand-drawn fight was already taken up by War Machine versus Genos, which still makes no sense to me. But there is no hand-drawn episode in Season 8 so far. There's nothing. So it would have been perfect to use hand-drawn animation here. And it kind of made me sad, to be honest. But it didn't completely ruin my enjoyment of it. So, yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Probably a 7.9 out of 10. Because aside from maybe... Okay, no. Final answer, 7.5 out of 10. It's a good episode, the boring death, and an animation style that could have been better. The puppet rigs are getting better, because I remember in, every time they used a puppet rig, because, with Miles versus Static, I couldn't even tell they were puppet rigs. That's how good they were. But as they kept using them, it got easier to tell, especially with Sanji versus Lee. That one was just so obvious that Lee had puppet rigs that it was actually just disgusting. It was just gross to look at. And aside from boring sound design in that episode, this is not a Sanji... Okay, again, talking about Steven vs. Star, 7.5 out of 10. Would recommend. Better than Shadow vs. Ryuko. Because my opinion of that has significantly changed. My opinion of a lot of the fights have significantly changed, and when we get to the end of the year with all the episodes and my entire ranking, you'll see which ones I like the most, which ones I don't like, and which ones of the opinion has changed. My opinion has changed on them. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. Good episode. Give it a watch. It's enjoyable. And aside from... Well, not aside from anything, but I just want to let you guys know that my 100 subscriber special, part 1, is going to be happening... It's going to be happening this week. I'm probably going to say it's going to be happening on Saturday, because that's when my parents are going out of town, and I can just work on videos. And then part 2 is going to come later, and part 3, which is going to be the finale, which is going to be the Q&A. So if you have any questions, leave questions in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Turn on notification bells. Whatever. I gotta take a nap. I'm just so tired right now. Yeah. I will see you all later.